On Monday, India and Armenia sat across a table in Yerevan and signed a document. Armenia's Chief of General Staff and India's Defense Secretary exchanged a new framework for direct cooperation between their armed forces. But strip away the diplomatic definition of the deal, this is India formalizing a military relationship with a country thousands of kilometers away, one that's already bought nearly $2 billion of Indian weapons, Pinaka rockets, Akash missiles, and now talk of BrahMos. Why is landlocked Armenia becoming India's most unlikely defense customer? Why does this rattle Pakistan's allies? And why does this tiny Caucasus nation, sandwiched between Turkey and Azerbaijan, matter to India? Armenia's first Deputy Minister of Defense and Chief of General Staff, Lieutenant General Edward Asaryan, met India's Defense Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh in Yerevan. The two exchanged a document formally establishing a new mechanism for direct cooperation between the general staffs of both armed forces. Earlier the same day, Singh had also talked with Armenia's Defense Minister, Suren Papakyan, covering military technical ties and regional security. This was not a standalone visit. It's the latest step in a relationship that's been built deliberately, meeting by meeting, since 2024. Back in May 2024, India and Armenia held their first formal defense consultations, producing a joint cooperation plan and a working group on bilateral defense ties. In January 2025, India posted its first ever resident defense attaché in Yerevan. By April 2026, Armenia's top general was in New Delhi meeting India's Chief of Defense Staff. So what began as a simple arms sale relationship has clearly evolved into something far more structured: military education, training exchanges, and now direct coordination between the two general staffs. Here's where the numbers get serious. Armenia has bought roughly $40 million of Indian Swathi radar systems. It's received guided Pinaka rockets, personally flagged off by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh this January. It became the first ever foreign buyer of India's Akash air defense system, taking delivery of its first battery in late 2024. Altogether, Armenia has imported close to $2 billion worth of Indian military hardware: Akash missiles, Pinaka rocket launchers, Swathi radars, and ATAGS howitzers. And then there's more on the table. Reports suggest Armenia is now pushing for something bigger: India's BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, a weapon that would give Yerevan genuine long-range precision strike capability. Armenia's logic is simple. It's locked in a long-running conflict with Azerbaijan. Baku is arming up fast with weapons from Turkey, Israel, and Pakistan. Armenia needed a reliable, affordable defense supplier with no complicated political conditions attached. India fit the bill perfectly: battle-tested equipment, competitive pricing, and delivery timelines Western suppliers often can't match. For India, this relationship serves two clear purposes. First, it's business. India's defense exports have surged past $4 billion in the last financial year alone, and Armenia is now one of its largest single buyers. Second, and more strategically, it's a message. Azerbaijan's closest allies are Turkey and Pakistan. By arming Armenia, India is showing it too can build partnerships that make its rivals uncomfortable, far outside South Asia. Unsurprisingly, Azerbaijan has protested loudly, with President calling India's arms sales an unfriendly move. What's happening in Yerevan fits into a much larger pattern. Operation Sindoor gave Indian systems like BrahMos and Akash genuine battlefield credibility, and countries around the world took notice: Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, and now Armenia. India is not just selling weapons anymore, it's building long-term military relationships backed by training, attachés, and now direct general staff coordination. For a country long seen mainly as a buyer of foreign defense technology, that's a significant shift. And for Pakistan's allies watching from Baku and Ankara, India's growing footprint in the Caucasus is a reminder that South Asia's rivalries are no longer confined to South Asia. They're playing out on a much wider map now, and Armenia has become one of its clearest examples.
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
No tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy and power seen through India's eyes. From Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India. How one move by China can affect India's security. What turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability. How Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood. Why oil choke points can hit your wallet. How wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly. To understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.